welcome to Story Smash, the storytelling game show. Wow, are we going to have a lot of fun tonight? This is going to be an incredible evening. I've got some fantastic talent here for you guys tonight. And right now, let's go ahead and introduce the Wheel of Stories. Here it is, the Wheel of Stories. There are 12 permanent topics on the wheel and one additional space that says free. If the contestant lands on free, then they can choose any topic on the wheel. There's also 3 spaces that say audience. And if the contestant lands on audience, well, then you guys out there have the very special job of choosing a story topic for our contestant. You can put that in the chat and we'll check them out. And one of our expert judges will be able to choose the story that the contestant's going to tell. And speaking of expert judges, you guys, let's bring them on right now. Okay, you guys, this first judge coming to the show, he's a comedian and a writer. And, you know, he wrote on At Midnight for the entire run of the show. He's also a broadcaster for the LA Derby Dolls. Please welcome Blaine Capatch. Yeah, here he comes.
Hi, everybody. It's me, Blaine. I'm broadcasting from the International Space Station. Sorry if my Wi-Fi goes out. I've got 3 bars right now, but I've just been told we're going to 3.5 bars here at the International Space Station. Back to you, Christine. That'll take 6 seconds for you to respond.
All righty then. The next judge played the role of Barbara Jean on the sitcom Reba for 6 years. She's also appeared as Bonnie Wheeler in the ABC Family Freeform series Baby Daddy and as the host of ABC's Family Dancing Fools and ABC's Bet on Your Baby and CMT's The Singing Bee. But now she's a judge on this show, so please welcome the fabulous actress Melissa Peterman. Melissa!
Hello! You forgot Costco Gold member.
All right.
The thing I'm most proud of.
I'm so happy you're here, Melissa. You've played this game many times before, so I know you're ready to go. Ready to go. Yeah. But this next judge, boy, I haven't seen him in a while, and I'm so glad he's back. He is a writer who wrote on the Emmy Award-winning Modern Family for its entire 11-year run. And he's also now in production with comedian and actor Kevin Nealon and his new show, Hiking with Kevin. He's also the author of this book I hold in my hand. He started it, My Twitter War with Donald Trump. Please welcome the one and only Danny Zuker. Danny!
Wow. I sound so impressive. Great. I love this. Hi, Melissa. Hi, Jilly.
Hi, Danny.
So nice to see you guys.
Good to see you.
You hear about the pandemic?
No, what's up?
What?
So people are getting sick of something. I don't know.
I'll tell you what I'm getting sick of, Congress.
No. Let's send those fat cats a message tonight, huh?
Blake Capatch, one of the sponsors on our show tonight.
Huh? What? Who?
Who's one of our sponsors on the show tonight?
Oh, tonight we're brought to you by Abs of Glass. You can hardly hold your head up with Abs of Glass. You're weak as a baby. Abs of Glass. 10 minutes. Can't even sit up. Abs of Glass. Christine?
All right, you guys, we're going to be playing 3 rounds of the game tonight. We'll keep track of the scores, and the top 2 scores will move on to the 3rd and final round to spin the wheel and tell a true 2-minute story. The first round is a true 1-minute story. The second round is a true 2-minute story. So all 4 of our contestants will play in round 1 and round 2. And the total score that is possible from each of you is 15. That's right, 15. We're breaking it down to 3 categories, 5 points each. The story, the ability to stay on the topic, and the time, which, like I said, makes a perfect score of 15 from each judge. Are we all together? Are we getting this?
Yeah,
Yes.
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
And here's the clock. You can look at the clock. Now, listen, folks, you got it. The contestants are in charge of their own clock, but if they want to keep to the time, the first round is 1 minute, and if you go over your time, you'll hear this.
That seems harsh. Like, that seems really harsh.
Yeah, it is harsh. It's supposed to be harsh.
Okay.
I was shocked it worked. I mean, that doesn't even work most of the time live. So that was amazing.
Well, listen, Danny, I've pulled it together with the help of StreamYard.
No, I love it. I love it. It's a whole new smash.
We're here. That's right. And
It
you
is
guys,
good.
we're so excited to start the show. I've got the names of the contestants right here in the can, and I'm going to draw out the very first name. That person's going to come onto the screen, and we're going to tell them to spin that wheel. Can you do that, you guys? Can you tell them to spin that wheel? All right. Wherever you are, first guest coming up right now to spin the wheel is Chris Korbel. Chris Korbel, you guys. Let's tell him what to do. Spin.
Hey.
Oh,
Chris Korbel. This spin, of course, brought to you by Prim, Nevada, a great place to throw up on your way home from Vegas. What happened in Vegas stays in a urinal in Prim, Christine.
Vacation. Chris Korbel landed on vacation. So, Chris, keep your eye on the clock. When you're ready to start your story, we'll start the clock. Take your time.
Okay, I'm beginning. So, I always wanted to go to Disneyland ever since I was a kid. And I wanted to go with my mom because my mom took me on my first roller coaster, which was the Cyclone in Brooklyn. And it only took me 40 some odd years to get there. But when I was about 47, I took my 70-something mom to Disneyland. And I thought she'd be so excited because we were going to go on the Indiana Jones roller coaster ride. And my mom loved Indiana Jones because she also was afraid of snakes. And I realized I hadn't really been on a roller coaster with my mom since she was in her 30s. And now she's in her mid 70s. And as soon as we get on it, I forgot it's pretty violent. And then just as it gets really bad, there's a giant snake. And I saw the giant snake and I saw the look on my mom's eyes. And I knew in that moment, I am the worst son ever. We got off the ride and she said to me, "Why did you have to go on that ride?" And all I could say is because I thought you liked roller coasters. That was our vacation in Disneyland.
Look at the time, 59:57, right on time. Melissa Peterman.
oh my God. Well, first of all, I think that Chris should get extra credit because he's wearing a hat that suggests vacation. So I don't know if you've got some sort of mojo or voodoo, but you made it land on there. You had the costume, you had props. I'm all for it. And you stayed on topic and you bridged the youth to today, which I like. So story, I'm gonna give you 5. I also like that it's a lesson too, Chris, because it sort of talks about bone density and boniva, and you need to be aware that when you are that age, roller coasters aren't your friend. And I think that that's a lesson that we learn too. We just get more brittle as we get older. And your mom does not like Indiana Jones because he hates snakes. She likes it because she wanted a, yeah, that's what she wants. I mean, so I'm going to give you 5 for a story. 5, you were right on time. And then staying on topic, you really, you kept a tight ship on vacation. So I'm going to give you, I've never done this before, Chris. Perfect score.
Oh my gosh, Melissa Peterman, out of the gate. Oh man, where do we go from here? Blank Capatch.
I'm also going to have to go with the perfect score on this one, Christine.
Wow.
I remember being horrified on the Indiana Jones ride, thinking that, well, I might have a stroke. I'm not a young man. Thinking how exciting it was, and then showing it to my 7-year-old kid, and the gunfire was heavy duty, like fucked up. And anyway, I have pet snakes that I love. I'm not afraid of snakes. I think it's great. And the Gilligan hat helps, so I'm going to give it a perfect score.
Unbelievable. Danny Zuker, what do you have to say?
This was, I got to just say, it had a beginning, it had a middle, it had an end. It made me like, I have a, my mom and we had a very similar thing, but it was the running of the bulls. And like she always just wanted to do, and I just took her for her 85th birthday. And that was, and in retrospect, that was a terrible idea, and I missed her terribly. Because again, way too brittle for that. But she died, doing what she loved, being
gored. She got gored. Was it gored?
She got gored. She got gored. So a terrific story. So so I understand the points. So we can we can deliver 15 points per round. It's for story. It's for
ability to stay on topic.
Okay.
story.
I'm reluctant always to give that perfect score right out of the gate, but
no.
But you hit all the marks. It's 15.
Oh my gosh, this is unbelievable, you guys.
I mean,
have kicked off Story Smash with an unbelievable score. Way to go, Chris Korbel, with a perfect score of 45. What is going to happen next? I don't know.
I feel sorry for the next bastard.
Yeah.
Let's say goodbye to Chris and let's bring on our next contestant.
Hey, look at that shit, would ya?
Holy
Look
fuck.
at that shit.
So meta.
All right, you guys. The next contestant
Sorry, my kid laughed.
through one
Shit.
is the one and only Abby Schachner. Is she here? Well, now, hang on. Abby might not be on the road right. Oh, let's see here. Hang on.
You have to deduct some points if she's not here.
Yeah, well, we're going to do that.
I'm a stickler, so she's for that.
She texted me, and I told her to try again. So she's going to try again. And
Okay.
decide while we pull up our next contestant to spin the wheel and tell a true 1 minute story is Fielding Edlow. That's not the way I'm supposed to do it. I'm supposed to do it like this. All right. This contestant has a half-hour special on Amazon Prime called Can't Say Slut. And she's the creator and star of the web series Fitter Homes and Gardens with her real-life husband, Fielding Edlow. All right. Bring her on. Fielding Edlow. Let's tell her what to do, guys. Tap. Wheel.
Spin that wheel.
Wheel, do it. Spin it.
Brought to you by Three Guys Burgers. Fuck those other two guys. Three Guys Burgers. They know what they did.
Oh, boy. Landed on audience, you guys. It is landed on audience. And this.
Oh, shit.
We're just kicking this show off with a lot of excitement. And this is where our audience members can come on the chat and tell us what what story topics they would like to hear. So, are there any audience members out there right now? Head into the chat and we can pull it up and see if anybody is commenting right up to the top. There you go. And let's see. All right. Some of the people want to play. Let's see here. New York City subway. That's an interesting topic. New York City subway. We also have people that want to hear a story about what else?
Two people want to hear New York City subway? That's crazy.
Isn't that ironic? Isn't that ironic? Somebody else wants to hear about car accidents. Somebody wants to hear hospitals. And somebody first sexual encounter. Okay, what's it going to be, Blaine?
How about a sexual encounter on a subway?
Or in a subway sandwich
There
shop.
has to have been a lot of them.
Melissa Peterman, what do you think?
What was it? Was hospitals?
Car accidents and sexual experience.
Well, they all sound super fun. And what do you say, Blaine? You want sex on a subway?
Yeah, any sort of combination of all of those works. Hospital, sex,
Yeah.
car accident. It's all Oscar nominations.
I'm going to go with because 2020 hasn't been, that much of a dumpster fire. I'm going to go with a car accident. Let's hear a good old car accident.
Interesting. All right, Danny Zuker.
You know what?
Okay.
I gotta say, I was thinking car accident too, Melissa. I mean, I had that vibe. I mean, if you got into a car accident because you were thinking about fucking in the subway and had to go to the hospital, that would be amazing.
Yeah.
But I go car accident too.
Okay.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
About car accidents. It's a true 1 minute story. Take a look at the clock, and whenever you are ready to start, we'll start the clock.
I'm ready.
Go for it.
Okay, this is the third car accident I've gotten into in my life with my balding character actor husband, and it was all his fucking fault. And we're on our way to a date in the car he just bought that I didn't validate, that I didn't say it was okay. It was his little bachelor audition car. So it was like a little Jetta he had just bought, which I didn't like. So we're going on a date. Like, everything's nice. Going up Cahuenga, by the way. Don't go to Cahuenga. It was the second car accident I've gotten to on Cahuenga. But anyway, I digress. So we're going up, and I'm going being all like naggy, shrewd New York Jew. I don't think you should be going this way. I'm like in his ear, and he has ADD, and he didn't look, and some crazy meth head from Encino, whatever the fuck, just barreled into us, and airbags go off.
Oh.
And then right before it happened, because I'm amazing, I go, stop. I know what's going on. I can multitask. I'm like already giving myself a breast exam when it's happening. So then we go and get tacos at the Mexican restaurant, and I blame it on my husband.
All righty. Just 2 seconds over. Not bad at all. Sorry, I'm in charge of the clock. It was actually 1:02. Not bad at all. Danny Zuker.
I mean, I was very happy. Like, first of all, in a 1 minute time, there were so many opportunities for you to castrate Larry in that, which I really, your husband Larry. I think I really admired that. Like the lead in, the balding, the shitty audition, the girlish car. It's all his fault. And then, just as like icing on the cake, you said, because I'm awesome. Like you built yourself up, and it was less about a car accident in reality, more insight into the car wreck that I think is your marriage. And I thought that was, and I think it was something I could relate to as somebody whose wife probably talked about him that way. It was great. I give you a perfect 5 on the time. I give you, what are my things? What are my other categories?
Stay on topic and topic.
Okay, I give you a 4 for topic and a 5 for the other thing. So I give you that's it. So I go what is that? That's I'm not good at math. I'm like Larry. I'm not giving 14 points.
14, right? You said 554?
Yep.
Yep, there you go. All right, Blaine Capatch.
These are the words that I wrote down when I was listening to this amazing story. Third. Bitter. Jetta. Bachelor. Cahuenga. Local. 5 out of 5.
Okay, the total score is 15. You're only giving her 5?
Oh no. I thought 5 was tops. I thought you would split it. 15. Oh, 15.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, it is 15. Okay, 15. That's it. Okay. So, oh my gosh, it looks like Fielding.
I loved it. But that's what I wrote down. All the key points. They all pointed to 15.
So you gave her a 15.
Yes.
Oh, great. So
yes.
For Fielding, this is also quite a high score. I'm impressed.
Kind of makes me look like the asshole right now, but go on.
No, I loved it when you said girlish car, because Jetta was what really anchored it for me.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Jetta really brought home the Los Angeles sort of stand at the Stonewood.
Nothing masculine about that description of your husband.
It was so local that it really it was atomically based.
Yeah, all the buzzwords. The only thing I didn't hear is pink taco. But other than that, I heard everything else.
Oh, Jesus.
It looks like she's got a total. Oh, Melissa Peterman, what did you think of the story?
I mean, well, how long have you guys been married?
Oh, God. Wait, 12 years. 12 years.
And you were not married when this happened, or you were married?
Oh, it was this year. Oh, it was earlier this year. It was, January, pre-pandemic.
There you go, 2020. Well, I don't know about you guys. I don't know about everyone else out there, but I just finished watching The Undoing this weekend, and I was thinking to myself, what story is going to get me next? And thankfully, I got to hear yours, because it had all of those elements. It had this couple that you're not sure what's happening, but guess what? It was his fault. It was totally his fault, even though he wasn't technically. You were not. I mean, he was driving. You were yelling at him, right? Also, my first car, by the way, when I moved, when I felt like I had made it, was I bought a Jetta. So I thought it was really. I love that car, and it is still working to this day.
They're great.
So I'm going to give you, first of all, no one mentioned this. You didn't know this story was coming. This was off the wheel, and you nailed it. Wow. So I'm going to give you a 5 for your story, 5 for your time, and you stayed on topic beautifully. I mean, the topic did go from the car accident to also loathing your husband, which I think is wonderful. So I'm going to give you 4 that. I'm going to give you 14. 14.
14. Okay, so we've got 3 scores.
That was nice. It had a beeline.
Yeah.
It had a big story.
Right.
I should have factored in if I had to do. Oh, yeah, who knows? I did like the idea. What Melissa said was very true, though. That you didn't know that story was coming. That's impressive. Okay.
Yeah, that is impressive. Fielding's total score is 43. Way to go, Fielding. And now we're going to pull up. We've got 2 more names in the can, and we're going to go ahead and pull up the next contestant. And we'll take Fielding out of there. And the next contestant coming up to the stage right now is a fabulous artist. This girl is a comedian, and she is she's an artist and a comedian. She's not on?
Oh, she's there, but it's like
Okay. Can you click on it? Okay. I'm not sure. Okay. There she is. Okay, great. All right, you guys. She is, like I said, she's an artist and a comedian, and she's looking for an emotional support animal, but a new pair of Uggs will do. Please welcome the very, very talented Abby Schachner. Abby, guys. Spin.
Spin it.
Bow. Nothing better than a mouthful of pecans, Christine.
All right, Abby landed on pets. Now take your second and sit with that for a second, Abby. You landed on pets. We've all had a pet. I'll bet you've had one too. And so when you're ready, you'll be telling a true story about pets. 1 minute. Keep your eye on the clock. You do not go over your time. When you're ready, we'll start the clock.
I hear a pet.
I know, right?
Whoa, sorry. My dog hates me doing Zooms. Anyway, I want to talk about, I moved from Los Feliz to Scientology Village because I had mold like 15 years ago. And I ended up getting a second dog. At the time, I had a French bulldog, and I got an American pit bull terrier, and I named her Lolly. And everybody in my building was a Scientologist. I lived above a family of 5 in a 1-bedroom. People would come and audit them and stand like policemen, in front of the building. And at the time, I would go to Coffee Bean occasionally. And there was a guy that wore a chai, a Jewish star, and he was very interested in my dog, Lolly. Well, some bad behavior happened between Lolly and my dog, Milo, my French bulldog at the time. And I ended up, she almost tore his ear off. And I ended up having to find another person to own Lolly. So I sold her actually for $300 to the guy with the chai. And I would insult Scientologists on a regular basis at the Coffee Bean, visiting Lolly daily because it felt so bad to give her away. Anyway, I found out they were all Scientologists. And I told them I'd take back 65% of what I said.
All right. 104. Not bad at all. Melissa Peterman.
I loved everything about it. And a lot of people, and this is what I liked about what you did, because people are afraid to say this out loud. Most people go to Scientology because of mold. They've been planting mold and they leave wet towels in people's basements all over this town, just trying to get them to have mold and get them out there. Nobody talks about that. Ask Tom Cruise about mold. You'll see his eyes go vacant. So
or ask for anything.
Right. So that was very brave of you to tell that. Also, big points for your dog barking on cue when the subject came up. Pet. I love whatever that background you have on going. What is that, a curtain, or is that like some hand woven like rags? I love it. What is that?
Rags.
I love it. And you really, it feels like you went to 3 different continents during this story. I felt like it was fantastic. So for staying on topic, I don't know what to put for that. I'm just going to say a letter because I don't think a number. So I'm going to say H. And then for time, you ended on a bang with volume, which I always enjoy because I feel like if people aren't enjoying what I'm doing, I'm going to get louder. So I'm going to take 5 for that, and H. So 5 plus 5 plus H. What does that equal?
10H. 10H.
15. It equals 15. 15.
Wow.
I got another perfect score. Unbelievable. Blaine Capatch.
Well, I gotta be honest. I love pets.
Oh.
Pets are wonderful. Just the and I was also wondering what the decoration behind you was, the rags hanging back there.
I love it.
It made me angry that my place doesn't look like that. So 15.
Danny Zuker. Danny.
I mean, okay. So it felt a lot like almost it felt like a therapy session to some extent. It felt like you were working out a lot of anger. You took me on a journey. I can't it made me laugh. It sort of felt a little so what I'm going to say is on time you had a 5. Time for sure you're on a 5. On ability to stay on story, you did. It was tangentially about the pet. I'm gonna give you a 4 on that, and then the other one was I'm sorry. It's it's the hard truth. It's like somebody's got to say it. These guys were all thinking it, and I have to be the heavy now. And then a 5 for the other thing.
Okay.
So.
All right. So it looks like Abby has a total score of. I gotta get a calculator around here.
Now before. Oh yeah.
What is it?
34.
4. That's another high number. Way to go, Abby Schachner. Thanks for playing the game. You'll be back for a true 2-minute story in the next round, and anything can happen, as you know. So stay tuned. It'll be double the fun. All right, you guys. The next person coming to the stage for the last true 1-minute story of the evening. All right, this guy, you guys, he is. He's from Australia, is where he's from. He's up from Australia, and he has a brand new show that he's been doing. I know what it is. He has a brand new show that he's doing called "Are You My Veggie Mate?" It's an online food challenge. Are you my veggie mate? Please welcome the very talented Dan Green. Dan.
Good, how's it going?
It's around the picture, then it goes up on the wall. Frames! It's gonna hang forever. Baby, remember my frame. Remember. Frames!
Frame high.
Also landed on pets, so I can't wait to hear Dan Green's story. It's a true 1-minute story, Dan. Whenever you're ready, I will start the clock. Take your time.
It's gonna be tough because there's been so many perfect scores. I feel like the fat Australian gymnast at the '76 Olympics who has to follow Nadia Comaneci. I was like, this is out of control. 15s across the board. Bloody hell. All right, pets. Okay, cool. No worries. Come on, let's go.
Go for it. You start now.
So pets, okay, everybody's got a pet. And in the news this week, put it this way, I work at the Laugh Factory in Hollywood, which means I deal with a lot of people with service animals, okay? And you used to have a license and all that. Now you just need a doctor from a friend or a note from a friend or a doctor or anything like that. It's a little bit out of control. That's why the FAA got a hold of that shit this week and calmed it down a little bit, so you couldn't bring in a peacock or a kangaroo. I'm at the Laugh Factory about 8 months ago, back when we were open, and this lady turns up with a stroller, and I thought she had babies in it. And it turns out it wasn't babies, it was 2 dogs. And I said, "You've got 2 dogs in a stroller?" And her friend was there with her, and she goes, "Yes, they're her emotional support animals." I said, "I'm going to need to see some paperwork on this." And she pulls out the paperwork, and it's a note from a doctor. And at that point, I looked at her, I said, "Does your emotional support animal have an emotional support animal?" And she said, "That's not funny." And I said, "We're in a comedy club. Everything is funny. Of course it's funny. That's why it's going to be." So, yeah, you can have 2 emotional support animals, and that's my time. Bang.
All right, Dan Green. Dan Green, 1 minute, 3 seconds, blank patch.
I love that you work at the Laugh Factory. It brought back some weird sense memories that I don't really want to go into right now. But it made me wish that I could go to Greenblatt's in these untrying, uncertain times.
That's cool.
Yeah. All this time, I thought you were actually in Australia, but you're actually somewhere in Los Angeles.
For 269 days, I was in my car, mate. Don't worry. Now we've got an apartment, which is cool.
All right. In that case, 15.
Blaine! Melissa Peterman.
I feel like we're all just want to give out perfect scores because we're so excited about these point systems. You lived in your car, like we should be giving him that. I want to hear that story first of all. That sounds like an amazing.
Well, you need to put that shit on the wheel. Living car needs to be on the wheel. Actually, it's an LA comic thing, so it should be. Anyway, I mean, no, I spent 269 days in the Laugh Factory parking lot.
Wow.
Okay. I slept in my Honda Civic one night, and the smell was horrible. I can't imagine.
Well, I got a big car though, mate. At least I didn't buy a fucking Mini. Otherwise, we would have had a serious problem because I'm about 6'3". So.
Wait, you're 6'3" and you lived in your car. Are you single? Because
no. When you live in a car, you're single. Trust me. You're not beating up women with a stick.
He's knocking on your trunk, Dan.
Yeah, just keep telling me
more. There was a chick who lived in a car wash down the road who really wanted to get to know me, but I think she was just using me for the front seat.
Wow.
I know the car wash. That's great.
Yeah, for Marcy. Sorry about that.
Right, Danny Zuker.
I didn't even give him a score.
Right.
I mean, give a score, goddammit.
I mean, we're just trying to get to know each other, Christine. Maybe this is the love connection.
Yeah, serious cockblock.
Right, first of all, my biggest pet peeve, I hate people who put their pets in strollers. I think that's the weirdest thing. It's like one step away, from wearing clothes with pictures of other clothes on them. Like, when you wear a sweater with hats on it, that's when you for sure are somebody who puts a pet in a stroller. So I loathe them. And I love pets. I love them, but they're not, I don't like it. Oh, look at my guinea pig and a baby Bjorn. Nobody wants to see that. So I'm all for it. So I'm going to give you, it wasn't your pet. I'm going to give you 4 on a story. I'm going to give you 5 on time, and staying on topic. I'm going to give you a 4. I'm playing harder, Danny. I feel like you think we need to be harder, even though I'm in love with him.
But you want to neg him because if you did exactly the right thing because now he's interested.
Okay.
But,
now I'm pumped up for round 2. I'm ready for round 2.
This is what it was. Obviously, I don't understand a goddamn word you say. It's just I would lose the stupid accent. I think it's. I think like you're a likable guy. You don't need it. I think you're leaning on it. I think when you're talking about it, when you come up with an example, I was like, when you're talking about like, a peacock, I was like, oh, perfect, because he's not going to say kangaroo. And then he lays in kangaroo. It's like, you're so on brand. I wouldn't do any of them. I would have stayed away from any marsupial or any egg-laying mammal with a duckbill. Anything like that I might have stayed away from. But you're a very entertaining guy. I'm going to do exactly Melissa's score. I would go 4-5-4.
4-5.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mike.
Blaine's already gone.
Right. So we've got a total score for Dan Green. And by the way, Dan Green, you look very good. You look really handsome.
You're very handsome.
You are. I think you look.
I look like mutton dressed as lamb. Trust me, it's all lights and mirrors. It's all fake.
You look really
mutton dressed as lamb.
Yes.
Is that a thing? Is that an expression? I've never heard that. That's amazing.
That's an expression.
God damn it.
By the way, if you guys are want to hook up, I'm a registered ordained priest in California. By the way, you guys.
Mate, I married a woman. I married a woman I met on a Monday night in a bar. I already learned my lesson. Don't do that.
Dumper.
No, don't.
Where am I pointing here?
That's right.
Wait, there we are. Are you getting it to me? There you go.
Yeah. Or Danny, whatever you want to say.
I'm open. I'm the one who just got divorced.
Pandemic rules, you guys.
Lonely, so come on over.
All right, you guys. That's going to end round 1, and all 4 names are now going to go back into this little jar here, this little can, and we're going to start the second round. You guys, it's double the fun. We're going to tell a true 2-minute story. Try not to go over your time, over 2 minutes, and we'll get started right away. And we'll keep adding these points up, and it's exciting. I'm thrilled to be here. Thank you again for joining us. Please join in the chat here on Facebook. Tell me something nice. And I've got a virtual tip jar. Have you heard of that? A virtual tip jar. It means I have a Venmo. And if you would like to contribute to Story Smash, the storytelling game show, you can do that at my Venmo address, which is coming up on the screen in just 1 second. Here it comes. And you guys can always throw me a few bucks my way. And that will keep this show ticket-free and available for everybody. It'll come up at some point. All right, let's start the second round, guys. Oh, first person coming up for the second round to tell a true 2-minute story is the one and only Abby Schachner. Abby!
Oh, yeah. Hold on. Where is she?
There she comes. Hang on now.
I'm curious to see what letter I'm going to get.
All right. Let's tell Abby what to do, you guys.
Hey.
Spin that wheel.
Oh.
Brought to you by On Bug Spray. Do you like bugs? They're gonna love you. On Bug Spray.
Interviews. It looks like Abby landed on interviews, and so we're either going to hear about her on an interview or her giving an interview. Who knows what's going to happen? She's got a full 2 minutes to tell this story. Whenever you're ready, Abby, we'll start the clock.
She seems happy.
I know. Yeah, we might as well just start right now. I just want to let you know that when I read the list of these topics, they all were very painful. They're all very painful to me. But yes, this is how I start interview. I'm a type of person who goes to an interview and people go from a smile to like the tightest lipped. I watch their faces change. It's been happening for years, so I haven't done them for a while. Because you know what? If you tell me something is like 40 hours, I'm going to see if you can work it to like 30 or 25. If it's Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I'm going to ask if you can do it just, Tuesday and Thursday for an hour. That's how I've gone about my life. I apologize. I did try temping once. I went to do the temp test and all the stuff. And then they asked me for like a document. They asked me for like a passport or something. I forgot what it was. But all I said is, I wore a skirt for this. I don't do well. The last actual interview I had, I came forward, in the Me Too movement, and I am no Christine Blasey Ford. But if we're talking about cars, I'm like more like a low-level Louis C. Kia. And I don't particularly, I'm not particularly a fan of talking to journalists. I really think it's kind of like the game Operator, when you're in kindergarten and you whisper something in someone's ear, like the ball is blue and round and it comes out at the end, like I blew my teacher, he had blue balls or something. And there's a person in that group that's purposely changing it, and that's called an editor. Okay, and that's what they do. So what happened in the Me Too thing is this hailstorm came out. I think I don't forget the date or whatnot. And I ended up seeing a tweet that a friend gave me, and it was a tweet from Judd Apatow, and he had picked my section from the article, and he wrote "Dream Killer," and in the section it blamed this person that we're talking about, the Kia, that he kind of ruined my opportunities or whatever. Anyway, an hour later, I got a message from the New York Times saying they noticed their mistake. They noticed their creative edit, but it was beyond. I ended up becoming a joke in a special, all from stupid interview, a Dave Chappelle special. I had joke plucked.
Oh my God. Hey, listen, that was 2 minutes and 2 seconds. Really great. Way to go, Danny Zuker.
That was amazing. I actually remember this for you. I always like, so that's like, you took that in a direction. Like I loved all of that. I did. I thought it would be great, great beginning, middle and end. You don't trust interviewers ever. I've learned that many times, not to the same extent that you have, but just more stupid things. Like it's bananas. So, good for you for coming forward and on all of that, even though, it was just an L, I don't forget what you said, an L Kia. But bravo. I'll give you 5 for staying on the topic, because it took the topic and I didn't know we were going with the topic, but it came back to interview. 5, you hit it right on the money for that. And then what was the other one?
Ability to stay on topic in the story.
I did that. Ability to stay on topic.
Time.
So there's 2.
Story.
Topic, and time.
Okay, I'm gonna just go. It's too confusing. I'm gonna give you perfect.
So what did she get?
15.
15. Holy cow.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I thought the same thing about interviews because she turned it into when she got interviewed by a journalist. And that was a definite twist I didn't see coming. That was really cool.
I like that.
Blaine
Capatch. Staying on time. 5 points.
Oh, look at that.
Couldn't be fiver. Having a cool background, the kind of background that makes me want to change my whole apartment. 5 points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sorry, I'm trying to get my camera lined up here.
Okay, we're not judging on decoration, Blaine.
And for me, forgetting what the topic was, 5 points.
Wow.
So if I don't know any better, and if I know my math correctly, I think you just got yourself 17 points.
Oh my God. Well, Abby, I loved it. And first of all, I love that you set the bar, like you set the bar low at the beginning. Like your face is like, I hate it. I hate all of you. I don't want to tell this story.
True.
And which is great. Like I always like to walk into any room and just set it like mediocre, but you set it low. And then I thought you were going to tell some story, like you were interviewing, like, for like some human resources job, because you're like, I tried to get it down to like 20 hours, 30 hours. And then you turn it around into the Me Too moment, bring in Judd Apatow, New York Times. Like it was a blockbuster. And I'm so proud of you. And were you describing her like a car? Is that what it was? Is that what the Kia was?
Christine Blasey Ford, Louis Kia.
Got it. Yeah. I'm a Toyota Tercel myself. Anyway, but I loved all of it. So I gave you an L, a G, and an S, and that equals 15.
Yeah.
Wow.
15. Amazing, Abby Schachner. You're a great girl, and you're an amazing talent, and you're an amazing artist, and I'm happy you're on the show. Abby's total score, 45. 45.
Yeah.
We're going to reach back into the can of truth. We're reaching back into the can of truth. And we're going to pick our very next story. Tell a true 2-minute story.
Right, call my man.
It's our favorite Aussie, Dan Green. Dan, come on.
Can of truth.
Yeah.
All right, you guys, let's tell Dan what it is.
Spin that wheel. It's been brought to you by Glade plug-in air fresheners. The smell of your house burning down while you're at work. Glade plug-in air fresheners, Christine.
Hooking up. Dan landed on hooking up. Maybe we're going to hear about that girl from the car wash. I don't know. Whenever you're ready, Dan, we're going to get you 2 minutes ready to roll. You take your time and we'll start.
Wow, hooking up. All right. Okay, let's rock this thing out. Hooking up. It's going to be like a series of vignettes, not really one big story, because it's such a train wreck of my dating life and hooking up. I mean, it's all over the place. From the lady back when I was 18 and in the army. I was in a bar in Sydney, and I walked up this girl at around about 8 o'clock at night. Tried to buy her a drink. Now, admittedly, back in those days, I wasn't the stunning individual that's in front of you right now. I was about 150 pounds lighter and had a skinhead because I was in the infantry at the time. I walked up to this girl and she asked her to buy a drink, and she told me to fuck off very quickly, as they do in Sydney. And then I looked at her as I walked away, and I said underneath my breath, I said, well, I bet you I'm a better shag than you are anyway. I get over to the table with the boys. I get a call back to the bar. What did you just say to me? You can imagine this is Australian white trash. And I said, what do you mean? She goes, what did you just say? I said, well, I just bet you I was a better shag than you were. How much you want to bet? I was stunned at that point. I wasn't quite exactly sure how this should work out. I was like, $50 and dinner? And she goes, right, let's go. I'm walking past my buddies. I go, I just picked up, fellas. I'm out of here. They're like, nah, bullshit. You're not doing that. Not pulling that move off. Well, it turns out she was a better shag than me. She won. I had to buy a dinner, and it cost me 6 months hanging out with this crazy chick. But like I was saying now, I don't have those problems because, as I said, I lived in the car, kind of cramped the whole Tinder game and the hooking up game. Because here's the thing, I'm gonna let you in a little secret. If you live in your car, chicks won't fuck you. That's how it works. So Tinder doesn't work very well in that regard. So my hooking up game has been pretty rough of that. But as I said, I'm not going to go around telling chicks I better shag them anymore because it cost me too much money the first time. That's my time. Thanks,
All
folks.
right, guys. 156. Melissa Peterman, you could barely keep your mouth closed.
I know. I mean, not since The Notebook have I heard.
National treasure.
Just beautiful. Like, it was just beautiful. I mean,
hey, if I had a duck pond, I could have laid all those women. If I had the duck pond like that guy did in The Notebook, and I've seen that movie.
Stop. You've already got me. You had me at Australian white trash. I'm yours. I loved it. I love the reverse psychology of like sort of like, betting somebody to sleep with you. I think that's fabulous. Also, don't, first of all, the women that you offer to buy a drink at 8 p.m., wait till like midnight. That's your girl. Okay. That's the girl. So I loved it. I'm giving him 5 for story, 4 for topic, and 5 for time.
Okay, that's 14. Not bad. Danny Zuker.
Yeah, I mean, again, leaning heavily on the Australian again, but good. It was good. A couple things you did interestingly. You made us feel sorry for you so I told this girl I'm a better shag than you, and then she challenged me, and I had to fuck her. So it was like an interesting thing to try and win my sympathy for. I know you had to spend 6 months with her, but it was you're sort of it was I don't know. To me, that felt like, wow, that's pretty good. Like I felt like that story, at least up until that point, turned out well for you. Am I wrong?
Danny, she was 4 cats crazy, mate.
4 cats.
4 cats crazy.
We don't have the metric system here, so I don't know what that means.
Oh, okay. I think it works out at 7.
But I thought that was good. So I'm gonna give you I'm going to give you a 4 for time because really you had a minute and a half story and then just a little fun Andy Rooney thing on. It was like, you ever notice you can't get laid in your car? And so I got to give you a 4 on that. But I'm going to give you a 5 on the I'm going to give 5 on the other 2. So I'll give you a not perfect 14.
That's a 14. All right, Blaine Capatch.
Well, Dan, it's always good to see you. It's a great story. It reminded me of when I was in Australia. Had a great time there. I was living in a fried out combi.
Oh.
I don't know, just a head full of zombies. And I remember I said, "Do you speak my language?" And he just smiled and gave me a Vegemite sandwich. And I said, "Do you live in a land down under?" And he said, "Where women glow and men chunder." I said, you hear that thunder? You better run. You better take cover. Living in your car just made me picture having a cool car with a waterbed in it. Anyway, 15.
Actually, the sunroof was broken. That was the fun part.
We'll be right back.
I promise next time I come on, I'm going to do all my sets in an American accent. I'm going to work on one and get it right.
No, it's your charm. I'm just joking,
Oh no, I'm going to do this. I think I've got some Texas.
I just don't know how you can sleep while your bed is burning.
Oh wow!
I'm climbing onto Blaine's bed.
I'm going to cry. This is just too much home in one spot.
Danny, when I think about that joke, I touch myself.
Oh yeah, we'll slide over here. We'll slide over here and give me a moment. Your moves are so raw. I have to let you know. I've got to let you know. You're one of my kind.
Seriously, Yahoo can't be serious, Danny. This is crazy.
I can't get you out of my head. Okay. Anyway, that's as far as I got.
Not bad at all. Not bad at all. And now we have 2 more people's names in the can of truth. And this guy. All right. Now I can introduce him.
My butt. Sorry.
Let me introduce this guy properly, shall I? All right, this guy, he isn't. This guy is a storyteller, and he was the producer, or he is a producer of storytelling shows. He performed both in Los Angeles and here and there in New York City. And currently, he's one half of Arts and Entertainment with Chris and Randall, available where you find your podcasts and your social media. You guys, please put your hands together for the very talented Chris Korbel. All right, you guys. Now let's tell Chris what to do. Smith.
Brought to you by Alfredo, by Calvin Klein. Serious, Creamy. Alfredo by Calvin Klein. Christine.
Holidays. Chris has landed on holidays. Boy, we all celebrate holidays. Let's see what Chris Korbel celebrates. You've got a full 2 minutes on the clock, Chris. Take your time. Whenever you're ready, I'll start the clock.
I am a junior in college in the Midwest, and I'm actually at school for Thanksgiving, and I accidentally overslept, so I missed lunch, and there's only like one other guy in the dorm at the time, a guy named, I'm going to call him Johnny Walker, just because he was like, imagine Charlie Sheen from Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and that was Johnny. He was like the cool dude. In the 3 years we knew each other, we never said more than ha and hi. But I actually said, dude, do you know if there's a place where we can eat? And he's like, yeah, I do. So he takes me to a donut shop in the Midwest, and they're open for lunch on Thanksgiving. And we get to talking, and it's really cool. He grew up, well, my grandfather grew up in Turkey, and he's smart, and he's cosmopolitan. And I can't believe after 3 years, we're really getting to know each other. Then we go back, we go our own separate ways. That night, I go out drinking with a buddy of mine who also lives in the dorm. And we walk back in the dorm. I see him in the lounge, which has been decorated with beautiful Christmas stuff. And there he is with a bunch of young people. Because, you know, Johnny, he kind of liked to date high school girls. So it was like a bunch of high school kids in the lounge. And he asked me if I wanted to join him. But, you know, my buddy and I, we were just kind of having fun. We were drunk. So anyway, we go up to one of the rooms where all the girls live. And this is back when they have memo boards. And my buddy convinces me to write like terrible obscenities on everybody's memo boards. And because I'm drunk, I'm like, sure. But I'm dyslexic, so I don't think anyone can read what I wrote or my spelling. So I go back down to see if Johnny's still around. He's not, but there's all this Christmas decoration, and I'm Jewish. So I'm like, I just tear it all apart. The next day, the dorm parent knocks on my door and says, hey, someone trashed the dorms. Do you know who did it? And I said, I think it was Johnny Walker. And she said, yeah, I figured as much. And he got kicked out of the dorm next year over Christmas.
Wow. Okay. That's a story.
Time.
Look at the time is perfect. Talking about holidays, sure enough.
Who, about me? Me first? Is that who you picked?
Yeah, sure.
I didn't know who you picked. I couldn't hear.
Oh, Danny Zuker.
Oh, okay, cool. I'm sorry. I didn't want to jump in front of one of these guys. Oh, yeah, that's me. You're pointing at me. Good. It was good. It was good. This was a good story. On time and was there. I felt this one. I can't give you a perfect. The categories of 5, 5, and 5 are hard. Those are even out of 15. I don't think this was as perfect as the other one. I think it kind of meandered there a little bit in the middle. So I'm going to give you 14. That's what I would say about that. And I kept waiting for Johnny Walker to be like, you actually got like the drinking in trouble there.
Okay, this is Peterman. Melissa.
I know I have a 13 I gave you for the total, just so you know, and I'm not going to tell you how I divided it because I'm trying to keep it mysterious. And anyway, I love this story because it had all the things that a lot of Thanksgivings for me have, which is you drink too much, you write obscenities on people's walls, and then you blame it on somebody else. So I think I think everyone can relate to that over the holidays. But what I liked, and I wanted to hear, I was hoping that you and Johnny Walker would end up being like the best buddies, like the unlikely pairing. And then you were going to say something like, and then, you spend your whole life looking for it. And then you realize you've been there the whole time. But that's just me. That's just me. So I love this story. I love the way I love everything about you. I love your hat. I gave you 13 just to shake it up.
All right. Excellent. Blaine Capatch.
I love the idea of Charlie Sheen in Ferris Bueller's Day Off, back when he was cool and wasn't just ravaged with every disease imaginable. I loved him trying to imagine what you would write, what sort of obscenities you would write if you were drunk and dyslexic. I thought that would be kind of a funny pitch. I'll try to have some alts by end of day. I thought that was going to end with something hanging from a bloody hook. So I was a little disappointed. So I'm going to have to give you 15.
Wow. An amazing score from Blaine Capatch. I have to tell you one quick story about the memo board. Chris mentioned a memo board. And when I was in college, I did this 3 times. I would go, when there was a test, I would go to the class ahead of time and I would write on the memo board, class canceled, test canceled. And that's how I got out of tests, like 3 times, because I would just do it myself. I'd say, no, there's no test this week. And people would walk away and then have to reschedule.
I was a little bit more clever in 4th grade art class, because it would say I would put an F in front of the so it became art class, and that's when I knew I wanted to be in this business. I just and it was because it was one of those jokes. It's a thinker. But,
Art class.
It was art class. Yeah.
There was a hair salon in Dallastown, Pennsylvania, where I grew up, and they would have a sign that said "Perms, $10," and we would change it to sperm, or I would, because I had guts, and I would do it every time until they just stopped putting that up.
By the way, for those of you watching, that's a great price for sperms. So
this is way back when. This was like 1961.
Oh, that sperm was choice then. Yeah. Uncut.
Oh, yeah.
So like $10. That was like a $900 haircut.
One more example where I grew up in the rural town of Gibsonia in Pennsylvania. There was a drive-in theater called O'Malley's. And what was showing at the time was Walking Tall. And somebody went onto that marquee and changed it to Talking Wall. And I laughed for like a day and a half.
I'm going to give you one last one. There was a temple near me. It was parking for rabbi only, and somebody had put a T at the end, so it was parking for rabbit only, and nothing made me laugh harder than that for a long time. Oh, yeah, there we go.
That's awesome. I love that. All right, Chris's total score is 40.
I do remember once. Sorry, I hate to interrupt. I remember the English Patient was playing at a drive-in. And they changed it to say dog balls.
Hilarious.
It was hilarious.
I was waiting for the wind up there. I love
dog balls.
Dog balls.
You're always worth the wait, Blaine. Always worth the wait.
Okay. All right, you guys, listen, we got to move on. We've got one more name in the can of truth, and that is the fabulous Fielding Edlow. Put your hands together, guys. Come on. Fielding's on.
Big fan.
Here she comes. Fielding Edlow. Put your hands together.
Woo!
There she is. Oh, where'd she go? There she is. All right, you guys. Spin.
Wheel.
Brought to you by Spicy Crispy Head and Shoulders. Finally, Spicy Crispy on your head. Spicy Crispy Head and Shoulders, Christine.
Fielding landed on interviews. Interesting.
Okay.
And on interviews. So Fielding, a true 2-minute story. Whenever you're ready, I'll start the clock.
Okay. So she was 6 then, went to a Jewish day school, which is really, I called it like Yiddish Big Little Lies. It's just like a fucked Ashkenazi cesspool. But anyway, a fun thing happened where my husband, not to sell him down the river again, as a fun game for dinner, had just a belt around her, just so she would stay in like her little like belt loop, like whatever, her circle for dinner. And I was like, oh, this doesn't sound like a great game. Like, whatever. Just he didn't even tie the belt. So she lets her jump roping teacher know at the school, my daddy tied me to a chair. And this fucking jump roping teacher called the DCFS. For those of you who don't have kids, it's the Department of Child and Family Services. So that was really fun. I literally last night said to my husband when he was admonishing me about a parenting thing, I go, I didn't tie her with a belt. I didn't tie her up with a belt. Okay, I'm losing year of my life, you fucking fat asshole. But anyway, and then he's like, our couple therapist said you can't bring up the past. So anyway, just get to the interview. So then a woman has to come over, and of course I've like put out canapé and like pigs in a blanket for her and like scented the house. And she walks in, and we all know it's bullshit just because of, well, whatever. She looked at me, I looked at her. She talked to me for a little bit, which is my interview. And I'm like, no, I mean, like, my husband doesn't beat me. He's annoying, but we're fine. And then she interviews my daughter, but I, like a little Yiddish Miss Marple, go around and I'm listening because it's so scary to hear your child being interviewed. So she's like, ask her these questions, like drugs, blah, blah, blah. And then she goes, do you ever go to bed hungry? And my child goes, sometimes. Okay. And I'm like, you little twat licker, what the fuck? So anyway, everything's fine. But a couple nights later, the case is fine and we're all fine. A couple nights later, I'm putting her to bed. I'm like, kitchen's closed, no cookies for you. And my daughter goes, but mommy, remember what the lady said. That's my time.
Oh, man. 202, a great score, Blaine Capatch.
I love it. It reminds me of the time that I got called in for putting cigarettes out on my kid.
Yeah.
I love that you use the term twat liquor in there. I love that because my kid is like right across the table, but he's got headphones on. He's playing Minecraft. And you know what? When I heard pigs in a blanket, I said, you know what? 15.
15. Wow, that was the key word, huh, Blaine? Boy, if anybody in the future who's watching the show and you want to score big with Blaine Capatch, you just had pigs in a blanket somewhere in your story. Melissa Peterman.
Well, I'll tell you your score right up because mom to mom, I'm going to give you 15 too because I did, and they don't know when to shut their mouths, you know, and that's when you're like, you know, I'm going to tie you to a chair. People, my favorite one was like, you know, my mommy pooped the bed. I did not poop the bed. I ate some chocolate once lying down after Halloween, and I fell asleep with it in my mouth, and it got melted chocolate all over the sheets. And so, which, by the way, that doesn't make me sound any better. I mean, probably eating poop would be far, cooler. Anyway, so kids they don't know when to keep their mouth shut. He also told on me and told my parents I had a tattoo. All right, so here we go. I love that your school has a jump roping teacher. I think that's it was in Richmond. Because first of all, you don't need our points because you're rich. You go to a school with a jump roping teacher. Also, I love the idea of a Yiddish Mrs. Marple. I'm actually going to pitch that tomorrow for Netflix. And I can't wait. It's going to be great. And I just feel for you. And I love everything about it. Those kids, they don't want to shut up. So also, where's your address? Because in case I want to call Child Protective Services, where's your child? Is everything okay now? Blink if everything's fine. Is everything fine?
It's like cozy Christmas morning in the house, in the other room. Everything's fine now. Yes.
15.
Thank you, though. Thank you.
15, another perfect score. I have to tell you before we move on to Danny that my daughter, when she was 7, she told kids on the playground that I drink beer in the morning. And this little girl Layla comes up to me and she's like, "I know you drink beer in the morning." I'm like, "Shut up, Layla."
She got me on my knees.
You know what? I'm also going to pitch that tomorrow. Shut up, Layla, and Mrs. Marple.
And I said, "Alabama, why did you tell the children on the playground that I drink beer in the morning?" And when she got home from school, she went in the refrigerator and she pulled out a Red Bull. And she goes, "Because I know you do, Mommy. I see you drink it all the time."
Oh, Red Bull. Oh.
You're like, "Shut up, Layla. I mix this with vodka."
That is so funny.
Oh my
Danny
God.
Zuker, go for it.
Well, this is the reason. Your story right here is the reason why I want to be a little stingier with the points in the early rounds, because I want to have I wish I gave you 17 for that story.
Yeah.
Like, that's perfect. Not everything was
Thank
perfect. One of my twins was like a real fucking Nazi about like bad language, and like so like.
About bad language.
Yeah, and so, but she was like, so she was like, if I remember, I would say like, this is when she's like 5 or something, and somebody said crap, and crap's a bad, you can't say crap, and I said, okay, fine, I won't say crap. Anyway, we're at a preschool thing, and we're talking about this, and I hear my daughter just loudly holding court, and like, my daddy always uses the C word. And it's like, no, you cunt. That's the C. But but it was honestly, civilian parents looked at me like so I relate to this completely. Also, I beat my kids. So yes, completely. It's great.
And for the record,
Hey, Danny.
You guys, this has been so much fun. Let's bring everybody on
Hold
screen.
on, I gotta hear what.
Nothing beats your kids.
Score 45.
Yeah, thank you, buddy.
Fielding's total score 45. Let's bring everybody back. Boy, oh boy, has this been a good time, man. I can't thank you all enough for coming on the show. We're going to be here every single Friday night from here until Netflix picks me up. And then we'll be moving over to Netflix, or maybe you, or whoever wants to pick me up. You can do that.
Be the lead-in for Yiddish Mrs. Marple.
Yeah. Is Quibi still buying?
Well, I'm gonna tell Chris.
Hold on, Christopher Korbel, you're on your way in. But listen, I want to give a round of applause to all the contestants tonight. Abby Schachner, holy cow. Abby Schachner, Dan Green, who's looking so trim, and Dan Green, Fielding Edlow, an amazing talent. And look at Chris Korbel over there, so confident in that hat. Love it. Now let's see some on the screen, please.
Top score.
Top score is Abby's total score is 89. Wait, what else do we have? Chris's score is 87.
Okay.
Wait, no.
Dan 86. Woohoo! 88. Abby Schachner is the winner of Story Smash tonight.
Holy.
You get $10 coming at you, Abby, tomorrow via Venmo from me, Christine Blackburn. Hey, you guys, come on back next Friday night. This is a blast. Give yourselves a round of applause. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your time. My name is Christine Blackburn. Good night.
Love you all.
Good night, you guys.
Love you guys. Love you, Christine.
Murderer's Row. We were very lucky to have everybody.
This is great.
Wow, you guys are murderers. You had me at notebook. All right.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
So Dan, what do you really sound like?
What I really feel like?
Yeah, now do your